You've been all over the place. How you sounding, bro? Can you hear us?
I sounded good. I had to isolate in the door in the baby's rooms.
Yeah.
I had to isolate in the room. Wait, hold on a sec. You catch me when man's not decent.
What do you mean, man? They got no clothes on the thing there.
That's why you got the close up.
Oh,
That's
it's...
why you got the close. Hold on a sec. We do it properly so I can represent our countrymen because they just killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, hold on.
yeah. Oh my God! I told this man to be ready. You know, I told the man to be ready. People, right? I told him to be ready.
Oh,
Mons said when I told man 7 o'clock, man's telling me he's indecent and everything. There.
right. Let me get in the settings. Can you see me? You see
Man,
me?
oh man, yeah. Mons is online. Mons, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, King? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm here now. What's happening?
Yeah,
So
man.
AJ, it's been a long time that we've seen each other in person, isn't it?
100%, man. It's been over what? Nearly 2 months.
2 months, 2 months, but communication every day. But we got a couple of things to talk about, no?
Yeah, 100%, man. So for those who are logging on now, just shout that's Nats, big up. What's happening, Nats? For those that are online, we just decided to do something. People are doing this all the time, merging
Yeah.
calls and all that kind of stuff like that. And we kind of stay off this kind of merging thing because we've just got our own technology, so we don't use it. We don't use Instagram in that kind of way. But because there's been a bit of a social distancing thing, we're gonna just utilize this and have a conversation about certain things that I think we need to be talking about.
Definitely. Let me just get the lighting. How's the lighting?
The light was all right before, brother. The light, man, what's the man, yeah, man, your arm's gonna ache when you do that, brother. Your man's gonna ache.
Right, I'm getting in my exercise. This is my exercise. Look, the arm switch over.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Listen. So obviously everyone's this whole thing about coronavirus, and just a couple of things to kind of set the context.
Yeah.
Particularly within the black community, we're seeing the deaths spike massively, and I just want to just highlight a few things that that we both have talked about and discussed over this period of time.
Yeah.
Particularly, why it is attacking our community so much, and I would like to just frame it in 2 words: structural racism. Effectively, black people are more likely to suffer from this illness because they have more of the front-facing jobs.
Yeah.
And when I say front-facing jobs that are essential services, whether it be cleaning, it'll be shopkeepers, it'll be jobs which are more likely to have interactive human contact or require you to be present. Now, this is part of systemic racism in the sense that, say if I had an uncle who came over from Jamaica who's a PhD and whatnot back in the 60s, yeah?
Mm.
He can't get a job as a PhD doctor over here because of the way they value him.
Mm.
So if you look at that, that comes into how much wealth we can acquire. Now, if you can't acquire wealth, you can't protect yourself in the same way. So similarly, this can come into elements such as food.
Yeah.
When we were young growing up, we saw the betting shop.
Yeah.
And then we saw, the chicken shop down the road.
Yeah.
But if you buy 2 avocados, that's £2.50 when you can buy the chicken and chips for £2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then fundamentally, you're looking at the health service itself. There was already disparities in the health service in the sense that you had, for example, black men are twice more likely to have things like colon cancer, prostate cancer. Black women are 3 times more likely to die at childbirth. Now, that's just not a phenomenon. There's a reason why that is, and that's because of structural racism in the medical service. Now, I just wanted to frame that just a little bit, but there's a couple of things to say, about what we've been thinking about during this period of time. So we're not allowed to reveal, are we? Are we allowed to reveal?
Oh, you gotta be careful. I tell you what. You know what? If we start revealing things, it's gonna be a problem, isn't it? But I tell you what, though. I tell you what. Big shout out to Gemma. Can you see these people popping out on your screen?
Yeah, man. Sorry, big up, Gemma. Well done, Gemma. Yes, Gemma.
Yeah.
Gemma, big up for rocking the mask. You look dangerous in the mask. Gotta be careful. I'm married.
Yeah.
Be careful. Matter. Do you know what I mean? But
I tell you how I wanna phrase this, right? And the reason why people are probably looking, seeing why senior where he is and why am I in the studio? I'm in the studio trying to do certain different things, right? Why we can't do what we usually do. And what I mean by that is, well, there's not many people online on this Instagram. We don't normally come on these times there, man. But
Yeah.
we'll save this and hopefully people will see it afterwards.
I'm gonna give background too, AJ. I'm giving people the background. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What?
What you got in your studio?
Come on.
But you
Let's
supposed.
go.
All right. You got it. You got it. Your thing. All right. Cool. All right. That makes more sense. That
Yeah.
makes more sense, man. Anyway, couple of things, man. Like, Gemma, if you're online and everybody who else is online, please jump in on this conversation, right? We're just really talking about what we feel about this whole thing. I'll tell you what it is,
Go
and
on.
I was gonna water it down, but the whole thing about people talking about how they corona-proof themselves, they corona-proof their businesses and all that sort of stuff. Really,
Yeah.
really, 100% annoys me.
Right, guys.
100% annoys me when you're seeing a lot of people going online, and I'm not dissing them, and it's nice that people going online and have that confidence to go online and talk and express themselves and whatever. But there's a couple of things that annoy me about this whole specialist people talking about how do they go about protecting their business about from this whole situation. And the reason why the whole thing annoys me because I don't think
Yeah.
anybody really has the answer. Nobody could have preempted this was going to happen. Nobody, no matter
No.
how much contingency you had within your business and safeguarding your business, you could never ever have preempted that something like this of this magnitude for this long would have happened. Right.
Definitely not.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is, the second thing that annoys me is that we know that there's certain people that are going online that we personally know or know of are talking some silliness because they don't follow their own rules.
Yeah.
And we're not in the line of business of calling out people and whatever, but there's some proper specialists, so-called specialists, proper business people that going online talking about what you should do to protect your business and safeguard your future in this particular situation when they are in failing businesses themselves.
I think fundamentally, it's difficult to talk about something and saying what you should do to proof your business against this when you're already in it. I think what they need to talk about is practical solutions which are going to help you whilst you're in it, because obviously this may happen again. So it's okay, let's future proof it for the next time. But whilst you're in it, what can I practically do that's going to help me now? And this is why I want to big up people like Dean Okai, Adpack. He's hosting, forums and stuff which are talking about what can I do now practically? What can I apply now? Not like what can you do to coronavirus proof your business? Like as if to say it's like a future tense. It's happening now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What? Don't make no sense to me.
The biggest thing that we have, and we always talk about it offline, and obviously we see people's presence, and I don't know if people notice when we post out certain things, right? It's either related to our business. We don't really give any advice to nobody on how they should run their business or how they should run their life. If you see all the posts that we put out, we never ever tell you about how to be an entrepreneur. We never tell you what you need to do for your business. We never tell you how you should live your life. We never tell you anything. All we do is put the people that you may choose to use as an influencer or someone that you see as positive. You choose to go and tap into them if you see them on our shows and all that sort of stuff, which is quite a big thing that I'm missing, that kind of interaction from certain special people, I think, that come in the studio and come out with their free time and they come and share how they got to. Right. So that's one of the things that I miss. And I think when we do eventually start bringing people back in the studio, it's going to be a very, very interesting type of conversations, because it's going to be interesting of what did you do during this time? What did you do before it? You know what I mean? And what are you planning to do afterwards? The conversations are going to be a lot more dynamic in terms of in terms of how people cope during this time. So,
well, yeah, and I think it's good because we'll be able to hear their experiences during this time, because everyone's going to have different experiences, whether they got furloughed, whether they had to continuously work, or they lost their job. Everyone's going to have different experiences. So, what you're finding is a lot of people are actually coming up with entrepreneurial ideas into how they can get other streams of income, during this. done because their job, literally they've been told to go home.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I think you're right where it's like we got to look at it from a perspective of, right, this is happening. What can we practically do now? And I'm interested. I'm looking forward to when we have those conversations where people come into the studio and tell us what was it like for you. And just to hark back to your point, what you said about not telling. Our job is not to tell people what to do. Our job is to create connections. So what we want to do is like you said, if you choose to go with this business, we only recommend businesses that we use ourselves or we find highly favorable.
Exactly.
So we want to stay away from telling people what they should do. But we're all for people with practical advice, which can be practically applied now, not how you do it then or after. It just don't make no sense.
100%. Listen, people. Let me just switch it another way. If you choose to ask our advice offline, we're going to tell you our advice. Offline. We are going to tell you, if you choose that you want help with whatever you're doing and you think, okay, Ace and Senior may be able to assist you, which without blowing out trumpets, we probably can assist you. But what we are not going to do, we're not going to be coming online and telling you how you should run your business, because everybody's situation is slightly different. But we can tell you some common things about some people that we're working with, the success that they have with each other. There's certain characteristics that certain people have that are successful in whatever you class as being successful, whatever their endeavors are. There is certain things that they all have that we can tell you what they are if you're interested in that. But
definitely. As we said, that's about creating the connections, and we're happy to advise offline, but we're not about in the business of promoting the fact that we're able to do this and that. Shout out to my guy Gas.
What a brilliant guy. So he has the kind of attributes that we're talking about. He has the kind of things that we're talking about. 100%. This guy,
you know what? My boy Gas, he's out here doing weight training and all sorts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This guy's a henchman. Like, if he becomes a bodyguard, like, he's gonna be my bodyguard. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Guy's in his 20s doing his thing out there. So shout out to Gas Gabs, but he's the sort of guy that we will happily connect anyone who's looking to do their thing out here.
Right. Definitely. So we're allowed to slightly divulge certain things now, right? So but you're gonna have to tap me out. Yeah, when you hear me you're gonna have to tap me out if I start talking. Clap me and if I start because obviously man can't do it physically or whatever. But listen what I'm saying to you. Listen to this now, people. So
we got nursery rhymes in the background. I got to shut the door. Hey. Madam, shut this door. Listen, we're top people. We didn't. No, out there. Go out there and shut the door. Yeah, come on. All right. Don't worry about that. Unscripted. This is unscripted. You might see me break into dad mode.
It's allowed, man. This is what we say. This is real. This stuff. So okay, people, right? This is the thing now. This is the gripe that I have, right, with people, and we opened the kind of show talking about with people online talking about how they are specialists in this and that, blah blah blah. And there's a lot of flaws in some of the things that people are saying, but I ain't gonna post up on their thing.
Opinion,
You're not gonna post up on their thing and say, "Yeah, it's rubbish." If you choose to follow that, that's your prerogative. Here's the thing that we're talking about doing, which we're not gonna divulge until it's actually there in your face. So, as you all know, that we've been doing the station's 5 years now. The radio station is 5 years, but in its current form, and I can't even say in its current form. In its current form before COVID. In its current form before COVID, it was 3 years in its current form before COVID. So 5 years, 2 years of just being music, 3 years of being something that is also a pointer to inspirational community things and those sorts of things that we do. So in its current form, that's what we've been doing. This is what I'm going to say to you. We only probably learned in the last year and a half that we need to utilize those people that are coming in for the studio. We were just interviewing them, showcasing them, and we actually said, hang on, have you seen the kind of people